Hey everybody.
What's up? We are back.
We're still alive. You can hear us, right?
Yeah.
Please tell me you can.
Sound check.
Yeah, sound check, because I don't ever know if it's working anymore.
Yeah, so we're back. You're getting an extra bonus show because we had to cut it short yesterday.
I mean, it's like the show was like 5 hours, but it's like we didn't finish.
Yeah.
Because, dude, I wanted to finish the list, and I wanted to talk about that Elisa Lam documentary and that stupid Nostradamus
thing. Well, we can do that. We have enough time now.
Sounds good, looks good.
Because I was looking at how much you had left material, and I was going, man, that's about another 4 hours.
I only had 2 more lists. It wasn't. I promise.
Hammered like we were, it would have been a long time. Because I was measuring what the rate we were moving at before. But then, like, some people are like, damn, Tom's rushing the show. He's shutting it down. Well, I was dealing with another problem at the same time. Our computer was fucking up, and I knew it was going to fall at any moment.
Yeah, it kept. Right. We were like paranoid that it was going to drop the stream too.
And when it falls, Jenny fucking loses it. She starts fucking smacking shit in here and everything. I'm like, calm down. I don't even know if the microphone's still going. I'm like, chill out. We'll get them right back on. And you see,
people understand though. They get mad at technology. It's not just me.
Jenny she's fun to get drunk with. All right, but we kind of manifest drunkenness in different ways. I fucking kind of start from here and I get more fun, and I start peaking, and then all of a sudden I disappear. I stop talking.
Yeah, he just kind of.
All right. The bartenders know when I've had enough because I stop talking. All right. And then they look over and watch Jenny, and Jenny starts picking on me because Jenny goes up. She goes up. She becomes fun. She's fun for a long time, but sometimes if anything negative happens, like I stop talking or this and that, she kind of turns on me. You're a pussy. You're a fucking pussy. And I'm doing like this. And
sometimes
she gets caught
it doesn't
in this
happen
shit.
all the time.
You're a fucking pussy. You didn't even fucking dance tonight. You're a fucking pussy. It's all kinds of shit like that. Well.
But last night, I was having a blast. It's like I could drink and talk about horror movies all night. And I was like, no, I don't want to stop.
I was worried because she was right at that damn point where it's going to go one way or the other, all right? And I was afraid that if it crashed again, that she'd go fucking off and get frustrated, and then she'd go into a fucking spiral. And by the time the show came back, she'd be fucking pissed off. On the show.
That wouldn't have pissed me off.
That's what I thought was
I mean, it would piss me off, like, in the moment. I'd be like, God damn it, again with this.
Then she's, like, looking at me going, on the show, you're a fucking pussy. On the fucking show.
No, because I just wanted to keep talking about horror movies. Like I said, I'll drink and talk about horror movies. Although, sometimes when I'm at the club, and, and I'm drinking, and, like, one of our friends is there, and we start talking about horror movies, I'll stand there at the bar for, like, 4 hours and, like, talk to fucking people about horror movies. I love it.
I was pretty hammered, so I was a little bit paranoid, but I was trying to get the show moving. I was looking at how much I had left, and I was going like, man, there's at least 2-3 hours worth of material left at the rate we're going. I can't last 2 or 3, and I don't think she's gonna last because you were fucking going pear shaped. I was going pear shaped.
Well,
too.
Yeah, it was all.
The show was going fucking sideways. It was better to fucking bow out before the shit became a total fucking disaster. But it's all recorded for fucking posterity. You guys can fucking watch it. You might be able to see the fucking gears moving in my mind. I was like, Jenny's fucking loaded. If this fucking computer crashes, she's gonna fucking blow. And then that's what I'm thinking. And then by the time we get back on, she's gonna be calling me all kinds of pussy. And I
wasn't going down that way.
Telling me that I'm talking too much on the damn show.
I wouldn't have got mad at you. Okay. I would have been mad at the computer, but I get mad at the computer. Well, I get mad at all my computers.
All right.
I get mad at, like, inanimate objects when they don't do what I want them to do, which is, like, all the time.
So I woke up this morning and I was like, man, we kind of fucked over the audience. We didn't finish that list, and fucking was just starting to get good. So I said, Jenny, we ought to just go ahead and give another stream. And she's like, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
And we're just not going to drink tonight. We got lemonade. That's it.
Yeah, this is just lemonade. There's no vodka in it. It's just lemonade.
Yeah. I can only drink maybe fucking twice a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean, when we do drink, like on Saturday one and stuff, it's it is kind of a lot.
Yeah. It takes me a while to recover. I'm fucking 51.
It's weird though, because like I said, the whole thing with the aspirin and everything, that really has saved me having hangovers. The only thing that I'll have I don't have a hangover the next day if I remember to take the aspirin, which I did last night. But I'll just be a little bit sleepy, like the following afternoon. you know?
Yeah.
But I won't feel bad. I don't get headaches or feel sick or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just feel sleepy. But not till afternoon.
Bee's Nest says Tom is supposed to inject testosterone directly into your testicles. No, you're not.
Doink.
Yeah, I got stories about that shit. You can tell Tom's too drunk when he just sits there with his arms crossed. Yeah, get in there.
Yeah.
I start shutting down. Like, yeah, that's another thing is they that was another contributing factor to last night. They warned me. They said fucking the first few days, maybe 2-3 days on this fucking HRT that fucking you're gonna be kind of erratic, and I'm fucked up a little bit. I'm kind of like if I'm not.
Yeah, he's been all over the place.
Been all over the place. If I'm not doing something or keep myself occupied, I'll go through fucking all the major emotions in about fucking an hour. You know what I mean? And you get kind of glitchy. It's kind of like the closest thing I can describe it is like really nicking for a cigarette and getting a little tiny drag. You're going, I want more of that. I want more of that. Fuck. You feel like you're grinding your teeth. Yeah. And then you go, God damn.
Yeah, he does that all the time.
Damn. Like it'll even out over time, but they say that first couple days you might be kind of glitchy.
That's a good word for it.
Yeah.
When did you get the injection? Not yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yesterday was day one, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yesterday was day one.
No, it was Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah.
That's right, because we went to the post office first on Monday, but it was President's Day, so it was closed. So we went back on Tuesday, so it was Tuesday.
Yeah, so about 3. I'm on day 3 there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't really a day, though.
Thank you, Zach.
Thanks, Zach. That was the end of a day when I got the injection.
Yeah.
So it wasn't in the beginning of the day. It'll work out, though.
Zach said, I've been drunk to the point of puking and passing out and still not have a hangover. Never had any, in fact. Is that weird? You're very lucky. It might just be because you're younger, though.
Yeah. When you're young, you don't have them very much.
Yeah.
Also depends on what you drink.
Yeah, what you drink, if you eat afterward. Like I said, I haven't had too much trouble, since because I'll drink a bunch of water and then take 3 aspirin, and then I usually feel, pretty much fine the next day. No headaches, no nothing like that. Sometimes I'll be real thirsty, and like I said, when it gets to be around like 3 or 4 in the next afternoon, I'll get real sleepy. Because I'm kind of sleepy right now, but I don't feel bad, though. Yeah,
Sandra says, oh man, Tom apparently makes very strong drinks. I can't remember Jenny being drunk that fast before. Yeah, what happened is if I start feeling good, I lose my pour discipline.
Yeah, he's just like,
I'm like, I'll just pour a big. I said, yeah, she'll drink that. And I'm not really thinking about it.
And I don't know how much is in there because he's out in the kitchen and I'm in here talking.
Show him that glass. Show him that glass.
And like I said, this is just
that much vodka in it before I put the ice and then so it was half and half.
Okay, see, I didn't know that.
With ice in it, yeah.
I can't really tell.
You up. You can't tell.
Yeah.
That vodka's real smooth. And
that's
it's really
what I mean.
good
it doesn't.
in that lemonade. That's real. I made that lemonade, and
it's
it just
real lemonade.
It disappears right into it.
Yeah.
And I forgot, because I'm lit. I'm like,
you're like,
well, yeah,
we're having a good time. It's the
party
stream
for me.
Woo,
and I'm like,
here's a drink for
I'm
me.
In there
and here's more for me.
Gotta get back to the
me.
show. Yeah, so that kind of shit.
So like I said, I have no idea how much booze is in the drinks because he just makes them.
That's how I plate up food too. I'll put more food on there than I can eat. It just looked good at the time. I'd be like, oh,
well, because, and I had to keep him from, doing that, because I was like, dude, I'm going to weigh 400 pounds. Is that what you want? I was like, because sometimes he'll bring the bowl, and it's, this big. I'm like, dude, I can't eat all that.
And I can't eat it either.
I know.
It
just seems like a good idea.
It's a good idea. I made it, so I'm going to put it on the plate, and then I realized, shit, man, this is like fucking 4 portions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The eyes are bigger than his stomach.
Yeah.
Although you've kind of, the stuff you're on is, taking your appetite away, you said.
Yeah, I'm not hungry.
He made
3
pork in the slow cooker.
Yeah. Fucking
and made some
carnitas.
little tacos,
carnitas.
Yeah. So
cocoa carnitas that have fucking cocoa powder in it.
Yeah.
It's fucking good. Man. The Mexicans showed me that. It's got cumin, fucking red chili pepper, a little bit of cayenne, cocoa powder, salt, and a little bit of what do you call it? I forgot clove. I should have put a little bit of clove in there. So slow cooked it in there. Pulled all the fat and the bones out of it, and then you refry it to get the brown edges on it. I was making tacos, fucking with mustard cheese on corn, with fucking coleslaw mix on top, and salsa, I made 3 of them for her and 3 of them for me, and I ate 2 of them and
you couldn't finish.
Started getting that third one. I says, I'm not really hungry.
Yeah.
And I was forcing myself to eat that last half. And normally I could eat 5 of them things.
Yeah,
and I'm
easily.
just like, man, I don't think I like this. And you said it was great.
Yeah.
And it tasted good to me. I had no appetite. I threw it away.
Well, that might be some of the stuff
something to do with these hormones.
Yeah. That it's like causing all kind of crazy.
I'm pregnant.
You heard it here first.
That's what it is. I'm pregnant.
Oh, he's pregnant.
Some shit.
No, they were delicious tacos.
Yeah.
I ate the 3 of them. That's all I've eaten all day.
The carnitas was fucking great. How could they have been bad? When I first tasted those carnitas, I'm like, oh man, that's fucking good.
Yeah, I'm going to eat all of that. But then you couldn't eat it.
No. Oh, another thing I forgot to tell them was that once I had them carnitas down in there, refrying them, I poured all the leftover juices from the jalapenos. You know the jalapeno jar?
Yeah.
I put all that in there.
Oh, well, shit.
And cooked all that down to get that jalapeno fucking seasoning into that meat. It was good.
Yeah.
That's what part of that fucking flavor. And also, when I slow cooked it, I forgot to mention that I had it in orange juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, about a cup of orange juice in there. That meat just fucking fell off the bone.
Yeah.
260 degrees covered inside a damn pot all night. Woke up in the morning and I was like, what's that smell? Oh, shit. I got carnitas in there. And
I forgot.
They were just fucking beautiful. Yeah, fucking beautiful. Yeah.
DJ Maniac said, my mom keeps sending over food even when I have a fridge full that has expiration dates approaching and it's driving me mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's just kind of like, there's only, I can only eat so much. Like I said, I'm trying to lose weight. So it's just kind of like, I don't really like to buy too much perishable food because I'm like, I don't know how long it's going to take me to eat this stuff.
Bees Nest goes to fucking Mexico about every day, and he loves carnitas on torta bread with grilled onions and avocado. That sounds really good.
That sounds amazing.
That torta bread. I always have some of that Indian naan in there. I wonder if that would work because that also I saw Taco Bell using that Indian naan on gorditas.
Yeah.
I saw that shit and I went,
they were like, no, close
I was
enough.
like, man, that's not Mexican. That's fucking Indian. That's Indian bread.
Yeah.
It was good though.
Well, like I said, it's close enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. It's naan is like similar to like fucking pita bread too.
Similar.
It's all kind of similar.
Not well. It's flat.
Yeah.
There's a difference, but
not.
You can use them either one.
And shit, we've made pizza using naan if we didn't feel like making dough.
Yeah, it's real good.
Just put it in there on the stone, like whatever.
Okay, you about ready to get on this list, people?
Okay, now we did the 90s, yeah.
Let me see.
We did the 90s, right? Chronos, Castle
Yeah, we
Freak,
did Candyman.
Bag,
We did all that.
Silence of the Lambs, Cemetery Man.
Yeah, we defragged this computer, so hopefully it won't crash.
Yeah,
We're gonna see
it. But like I said, if it does,
we'll see.
If it does, I'm gonna smack it. I'm telling you right now because it has to learn its lesson.
Don't make a fucking scene. Well, if she loses it, you guys will understand.
I'm not. Well, like I said, I'm not gonna like fucking kill anybody. Well,
you're not
like
drunk,
that.
so you're not drunk, so you're not gonna lose it that bad anyway.
I mean, I still get frustrated, like I said, not just with this computer, with all my computers. Whenever they do anything or they're being too slow, I'm just kind of like, I can't take it.
Naan is fluffier than pita. Pita has a pocket in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference. Naan is it's flour, but it's yogurt and water, and I don't even think there's any yeast in it at all, if I remember correctly. You can make it real quick. Yogurt, water, and some flour. Naan is leavened. Excuse me, pita's slightly leavened, I believe.
Now I'm kind of curious to look up.
It's Greek or Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
And not naan. Naan's India, pure. But like I said, I saw years back in the 90s, I got one of those gorditas and looked at that, and it was like a piece of naan with a flour tortilla and a fucking corn tortilla, all with. It's like one inside the other. And I said, man, that's Indian. That's not Mexican. But I don't know how they do it in Mexico.
But, if you're looking to Taco Bell for authenticity of anything, even authenticity of food in general, it's probably not you're going to have a bad time.
They're making a million. They're making a million sellable items out of fucking 5 components.
Thank you. Greetings from London. Love all your postings. Learning so much.
Thanks, Mr. Hennessy.
Probably learning how drunk we can get. Yeah. Not tonight though, because
you're learning this in an Anglo-friendly fashion.
Anglo-friendly fashion.
Back in the honky motherland. But which is
you know what's funny?
Anglo-friendly fashion just means fucked up.
Fucked
up like in the pub. Yeah. Like back in the pub. Yeah.
Sandra says, I notice it much more when Jenny gets drunk. Tom is always the same no matter what. Which is really funny because ironically, at the club, it's opposite. Like the bartenders are like, man, Jenny's really good at hiding drunk and Tom isn't.
Well, okay, now if Jenny's surrounded by a bunch of her girlfriends, you can't tell she's drunk because they're all running their mouths. And they're all excited. Me, I'll be over
because we're all like talking and stuff.
I'll be on the other side just slowly. I start kind of slouching and getting slower. And our bartender goes, you okay, Tom? You okay, Tom? He's like, yeah, I'm good. And then she'll turn around and go, you fucking loser. And you're like that, you know, they're like, what? I never
called you a fucking loser.
They're like, what?
Don't exaggerate. What? I never called you a fucking loser. I like to kick people when they're down, you know.
Yeah, she can't help it.
That's just what my personality is like. Yeah. And it's not serious. I don't mean it like seriously. It's just funny to me that like, because you're kind of like that too. You're kind of like...
it goes back and forth.
Well, yeah. It's like, you know, you kind of make like mean jokes about people and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm just like, ooh, you can't retaliate. So I'm going to get all over your fucking case now. Yeah. Because you can't like yell at me.
Talking shit.
Well, you know, we're kind of used to it. It's like it's a weird dynamic, I guess. But,
10 years of that shit.
Yeah. I know.
All right,
so we did the 90s, yeah?
Yeah.
I remember doing the 90s, so I wasn't that drunk. Because I remember you saying about
But we got a lot of the 2000s.
No, 2000s.
Oh, it's 2010 to 21?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I told you. I only had 2 more lists.
Okay, I thought
that's why I'm sitting there going, dude,
I thought there was like, 3 more lists.
No, the 2000s, and then I was like, well, it's only 2021. It's like a decade.
We can't scroll though. When we scrolled last time, the fucking computer was crashing. So
but I always scrolled before, and it didn't do anything.
Well, we can finish this, and then we can do all the other stuff that you prepared. We'll talk about the damn.
Hey, Adam Sane from Conspiranormal in the house.
How you doing, How you doing, Adam?
What's up, man?
Yeah, how's the show been? I hadn't checked your show in a while.
Yeah.
Been fucking busy up here.
Yeah,
Adam's had us always on. Adam's had you on many of the shows. I think I was on one of them.
You've been on a bunch of
them,
too.
I did a bunch of after-hours stuff.
You've done some, like, Patreon-only stuff.
Patreon-only stuff.
Yeah.
Which, that's just the funnest, really, the Patreon. Because fucking, he's wanting me to cut loose.
Now you got to cut loose.
I'll start cutting loose.
Tom loose.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so...
Pat says, at least you admit it, Jenny. Admit what? That I'm a dick? Yeah. I freely admit that.
Okay. I kind of admit it.
I'm an asshole. I own it. Yeah. Not always.
We got a pretty good crowd in here now.
Yeah. All right. So now we're at the 2000s, and like I said, I kind of wanted to talk about the Nostradamus shit and the Elisa Lam shit.
Yeah,
too,
we'll talk about that after.
So we'll do this first though, because I felt bad that we didn't get to the last ones.
People were just starting to get excited about the show, and we had to cut it short for alcoholic reasons.
For alcoholic reasons.
Getting ready to fucking slide off the show. Shit was going pear-shaped.
At least we mostly we got like the 70s and 80s covered, which I feel like is probably what most people are interested in. But all right, so this is going to be the 2000s.
Yeah.
So at number 20, got a little movie from 2003 called Dead End.
I've never seen this one.
Now, if you have not seen this movie, I think it's on Tubi for free, or it was a couple months ago. Ray Wise is in it from, he was in Twin Peaks and everything. Lynn Shay is in it. And it's basically about this family, and they're driving somewhere for Christmas. And it's this really cool, like, surreal, like, all this weird, surreal shit, like, happens on this road. You know what I mean? I don't want to spoil anything, but it's really, really good. And I feel like, I don't know, I really dug it, and I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about it. So, Sandra's seen it? Yes, Dead End is great.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's good. It's really, really good. I really liked it. Okay. The reason I ended up seeing it, and I saw it not too long ago, is because it kept coming up on, why doesn't anybody talk about this movie, or like best underrated horror movies? And I was like, man, that's right there on Tubi. I should watch that. And it's really, really good. Number 19, May, from 2002.
Liked this movie.
Directed by Lucky McKee.
Yeah.
Shudder just added his other movie, The Woman, but I haven't watched it yet. And this had Angela Bettis in it. They worked together a lot. But yeah, this is like about a lonely girl who decides she's going to make a friend in a Frankenstein-y sort of fashion.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a real good low budget kind of goth horror movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat. Yeah. Kind of like something. Kind of reminds me of like Edward Gorey drawings. That's what the movie kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, I always really liked it because even though she's a murderer, you still kind of feel bad for her. I mean, you know what I mean? Because she's just like,
she's kind of pitiful.
Yeah, she's kind of pitiful because she's like, well, she never meets anybody. Like everybody she meets, they have like one or two cool things about them, but then they have like a bunch of shitty things about them. So she decides, well, I'm just going to take the best parts of the people and put them all together into one perfect person.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it's like, and it has like a really kind of weirdly heartwarming ending.
All right, number 18 is Drag Me to Hell.
Drag Me to Hell, 2009. So I feel like people were talking about this in the comments. It's Sam Raimi.
Okay.
And it's a horror comedy. I remember seeing this one in the theater, and it's so fun. You would probably love it.
Okay.
It's about this young woman, and she is a loan officer. And so they have, your quote unquote like gypsy woman who comes in there, she's trying to get a loan, and this girl turns her down, so she gets cursed. So it's like a gypsy curse movie. Yeah. And it's like I said, it's super, super fun. It's super gross. Like, this poor girl that's in this movie, like, gets so many fluids and snakes and bugs and worms and just, like, all kind of shit, like, poured all over. It's so, so fun. I just really, really liked it. You'd probably love it.
Okay.
I feel like. So that's probably one that you need to see. Because you like all the Evil Dead movies. It has that kind of vibe to it. And it's real funny. And it's, like, real gory. Let's see. Number 17, Wreck, 2007. Now, this is the original Spanish one, and like I said, I'm not a huge fan of found footage, but this was probably one of the best found footage movies ever. They remade it. They did like an American version that I think was called Quarantine, which was not great. But it's basically about an outbreak in an apartment building. And like I said, it's like people that live in the apartment, and they're kind of, they're doing it found footage style, and it's just really, really well done.
Yeah,
it's like really, really...
REC.
Yeah, like record.
Like record, yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, even if you don't like found footage movies, it's really, really good for like, easily one of the best found footage movies.
All right, this next one is one of my favorites.
Number 16, Dagon. From 2001. It's so funny. I feel like a lot of people don't like this movie.
They don't know what they're talking about.
But to me, this one really conveyed the whole like damp, fishy aesthetic of Lovecraftian
That's a
horror.
Lovecraft movie, yeah.
It just there was something about it that really kind of like, and I love the Queen girl. Yeah. Like with her little weird crown and all the tentacles and everything.
It's this pretty Spanish girl in a damn...
I still want to do that for a Halloween costume.
She's in a wheelchair, and you don't know what the deal is, and all these monsters, she's related to all these monsters. Turns out she's a monster, too. It's a really good movie. Dagon. I have it on Blu-ray. I got it, actually, I have the special release. They had a very limited Blu-ray release of it. And it's the same company that did From Beyond and all the other Lovecraft movies that had, what's his name in it? Jeffrey Combs.
He's not in this one, though.
He's not in it. No. They got another guy who's kind of like him, but he's
a Jeffrey Combs stand-in.
He's kind of like a Jeffrey Combs stand-in, I would say, but this was made at a time when Jeffrey Combs had aged out of the role that he was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a college student.
Yeah.
So, there's no way Jeffrey Combs is going to pull himself off as a college student. But it's probably the best out of those movies made by that company, just visually. Really good special effects, great music. Good story, real faithful to Lovecraftian lore. I liked it.
Although it's not really based on the story Dagon, it's based on
Horror at Ismith. I think
yeah. What the fuck is it called?
I think that's what it's like. Yeah. So it's happening on an island. It makes more sense. It's on an island off the coast of Spain or Greece. I don't remember which one.
I'm pretty sure it was Spain because I think that's where they shot this.
Yeah,
it was just kind of like some of the later Reanimator movie, like Beyond Reanimator or whatever the one, like the newer one that they shot that in Spain too.
They had a real famous Spanish actor in it, who is kind of like their version of Brando. He's in it. He plays an old bum. He's the last human being that's been living in the damn island. And he speaks in English, but you can't really understand it. But he does this great little monologue where he tells how the cult of Dagon took over, and they flash back to the times when he was a kid, when it took over. It's actually, I thought it was the best.
He was great in it.
Gold and fish from the sea. Remember that shit?
You sounded like Box from Locust Run for a second.
Gold, fish from the sea. Yeah.
Plus, that guy came to a real bad end in this movie.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Dagon.
Yeah. All right, number 15. Here's another one. I don't think you've seen this one, Tom. Mm-hmm. Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. This one, I adore this movie. It's just so well done. It's a mockumentary about a team that are making a documentary about a serial killer who is trying to be, but in the universe of this movie, like Jason and Leatherface and stuff are real people, are real serial killers, and this guy is trying to be like a legend like they are. So this documentary team is like following him around, and he's like telling them like all these fucking pointers, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like for serial killer, for being like a famous movie serial killer, and it is hilarious.
I didn't see it.
It's hilarious. Yeah. It's just really, really well done. Like the way they play with all the slasher tropes. It's just funny as hell, and it's really, really, and it's gory. It's just really, really fun.
Pat,
and what?
Oh, sorry, Pat, go back and see Dagon again, man. It's the same tone as the other movies that company made.
It sort of maybe had some funny shit in it.
It has some funny shit, but they all did.
Yeah, I don't really remember that much funny stuff in it. But
they would have little comedic spots in it here and there, but that company, From Beyond did also, and so did Reanimator. Was fucking hilarious. Go back and watch Reanimator and Bride of Reanimator and fucking all the Reanimator series. It's one of my favorite series, and there's a lot of comedy in them.
Yeah,
They're still cool, though.
I kind of feel like Dagon was the least comedic. Of that
bit, yeah.
Because Reanimator, I would that is a straight up horror comedy.
Yeah, it's up there with like Evil Dead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same kind of goofy, over the top,
which I love that shit.
Kind of shit. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. It's like you like a lot of horror with comedic stuff in it. Let's see, what else have we got here? Number 14, American Psycho from 2000.
Yeah.
This just fucking
good movie.
I just love this movie so much. Christian Bale was like the perfect person to play that fucking role, because he comes across as just so soulless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's really, really good at playing that character.
It's a classic movie.
Like, creepily good.
Yeah. It's become a classic over the years. It's good.
Shadow over Innsmouth. Thank you,
That's
DJ
right.
Maniac. That's why I was like, what is the first
something.
word? Yeah. Shadow over Innsmouth. That was the name of the story. Yeah. So it's not, they called it Dagon, but it's actually Shadow over Innsmouth. But I guess Dagon's like a better title. And they do talk about the cult of Dagon just like they know the story, so you know what I mean.
It's hard to adapt anything Lovecraft to a movie. Mm-hmm. Because it's just, the original writings are so much kind of like in narrative. Kind of like, and written. Something kind of like found footage type stuff.
Yeah.
It's like Call of Cthulhu was like that. It was mostly, wasn't it? I remember mostly like third person and telling about what had happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like,
like a found footage.
We might have brought this up before, but it's like obviously for my Witching Hour show and stuff, I read a lot of Victorian era and like early 20th century horror. And that was a very, 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 very common trope. And I don't know if they were doing it so it would seem more realistic, because it was always either somebody like talking to you, the reader, and saying, I'm going to tell you about like some scary shit that happened to me. Or it's somebody going, I found this manuscript of some scary shit that happened to this other person. Yeah. And then they present it.
Then you read these letters that came from this guy. And Dracula was like that.
Yeah.
And Lovecraft, I think, was copying those kind of writers. Because I would read Lovecraft when I was a kid, in high school, and everybody was talking about it, if it was in Iron Maiden albums and everything. And it was good to... It was a good read when you were a kid. I really couldn't put up with it now. It was super verbose. You had to grab a fucking dictionary to figure out what he was talking about a lot of times. Just trying to show his vocabulary off. But that was just the style of the time. Everything's real. And some
flowery.
Flowery and making up words and stuff. And it was kind of mysterious. It did have a mysterious tone to it.
I found the only thing about Lovecraft is he used a lot of the same words. Like he had some words that he really
he used
liked.
Eldritch over and over again.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, it's a cool word. Yeah. I'm not saying. I'm just saying that turned up in like a bunch of his stories.
And I think he used preternatural. Wasn't that or was that Anne Rice that used that a lot.
Oh, did she? I haven't read any Anne Rice in a long time, so it's like I can't. So I can't remember.
And then it was. I think what Lovecraft was going for was a found footage effect.
Yeah.
Because it was you're not talking about film, it's books. So, but it's kind of like a found footage book.
That's what I'm saying. I think it gave it like a sense of veracity. So I think that authors at the time thought, well, this will make it scarier because it will seem like something that really happened.
It was real high tech back in the day.
Yeah, because like you said, Dracula was like that. That was all, diary entries and letters and newspaper articles and stuff. It was written entirely in that.
They're trying to take you there.
Yeah. Which, like I said, that's a cool, and it's like the same principle as found footage. You're just trying to get like that verisimilitude. They think it like makes it scarier.
Yeah.
All right, so American Psycho. That was number 14. Number 13, gonna go with Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
2007.
Yeah, good movie.
One of my favorite horror anthologies.
Yeah. If you like creep show and stuff, you'd like this.
And
really
it's so,
well made.
I mean, the Halloween just bleeds out of this one.
Yeah.
It is just so Halloween-y.
What I liked about this is that it was all practical effects, and it was really good color palette, good shots. You know what I mean? Shot composition was really good. It had a real good flow. That I liked the edit to it, and things that happened in one house and then go across the street and something else would happen. It was fucking cool. I liked it.
Yeah, I really liked the way they edited it together, and the fact that they could take like the little character of Sam and make that such an iconic Halloween character, like in this day and age, I think was like really.
Got to see that one again.
Yeah, we have that, don't we?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we have it on Blu-ray. I try to watch it every Halloween just because it puts me in the mood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because it's just so Halloween-y, and I love anything that can like nail the fucking Halloween tone like that. I'm super into it. All right, so let's see, where were we? Number 12, Let the Right One In, from 2008. Now they did an English language remake of this because it's Swedish, I want to say, and it wasn't bad actually. Chloe Grace Moretz was in it. But obviously the original is way better. I don't know if you've seen it or not. I read the book as well, like a long time ago. The book is also very good. But it's a vampire story, but the vampire is a little girl, but she's like hundreds of years old.
Sounds familiar.
And she makes friends with this bullied little boy.
Yeah,
so
I saw it.
Yeah. It's a really, really good, and it's really gory. I really, really like that one. And like I said, I'm not going to shit on the American remake. I'm not a big fan of them being like, oh, well, this foreign language movie, everybody loved that, so let's make an American version because people won't read subtitles or whatever. But I'm not going to shit on the remake too bad because the remake was actually pretty decent.
I think the whole making an American remake is. It's a good marketing strategy, though, when you think about it.
It is. Well, obviously, or they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, you already have a movie made, the idea and everything. Let's just make it again in English. These people over here haven't seen it yet. So it makes sense. The English-speaking market is huge because it's America, Canada, Australia, UK.
Yeah.
So it's covering a big territory. You're cashing in again.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I mean, I don't know, because I feel like in the 90s there was a massive, because J-horror, like Asian horror, that was kind of the thing. And so it seemed like every Asian horror movie that did any bit of business and that people were talking about over here, they're like, well, we got to do an American remake. Yeah. And most of them were okay, but I mean, I'll get to the only one that I think was like worth a shit. No, okay, that's a lie. Because actually, I liked the American remake of Dark Water. I don't know if it was as good as the original, the Japanese one, but it wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good. And I've seen it a couple times. You know what I mean? So it's weird because when we're talking about Dark Water, that kind of ties into the Elisa Lam case too, which I think we mentioned on the.
Dermot said he watched Trick or Treat last week on our advice, and he absolutely loved it.
It's so good. Yeah, it's just good. So it just infuses me with Halloween spirit. You know what I mean? I love it. I just love the look of it. I just love it's all orange and shit. I love it. All right, number 11, Dog Soldiers. Yeah, good. 2002.
It's a real good
werewolf flick. British Army fights werewolves, and the werewolves in it look great. Yeah.
About like a howling werewolf. That
real big one was and good, like, and I love that they like. I think it's all pretty much all practical effects. Like those werewolf suits, it was just like people on fucking stilts or whatever, wasn't it?
Yeah, I liked it. It was kind of. I think they were British Special Forces guys, maybe SAS or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they were out training.
Yeah, based on the weapons that they had, it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I liked it. And what I really liked about it is that it was just kind of all in the back of some good costumes. Good writing, with good storytelling, and some decent actors, some good actors. That didn't cost a lot of money to make.
No, it didn't actually.
But that's it doesn't have to cost a lot of money to be a good movie.
Well, like we said before, it's like writing a script doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, hardly. They don't pay the damn writers hardly.
Even though we're the ones that come up with the fucking ideas. God damn it.
Right.
You can tell I'm a little bitter about that kind of shit. So Dog Soldiers. We did a review of that a while back. Number 10, Shadow of the Vampire. This is from 2000. Yeah. I saw this in the theater when it came out. It's basically John Malkovich is in it. Willem Dafoe is in it. It's about the making of Nosferatu.
You were telling me about this.
Yeah. It posits that Max Schreck, the actor that played Nosferatu in the movie, was an actual vampire. That's how much F.W. Murnau, the director, wanted all this like realism in the film, as he actually went and found an actual vampire to be in Nosferatu. So it's kind of like, and I mean, honestly, I love like the whole aesthetic of like silent films, and I love like all that shit from the 20s and all that. I love the look of that.
I gotta see this one.
Yeah, so it's, I don't know. I guess it's a horror movie because the vampire starts like fucking killing people and stuff. But it's kind of almost, it has drama elements, and a lot of it is like a black comedy. Yeah. But it's just, it seemed like when that movie came out, and like I said, it came out in 2000 and I went and saw it in theater, I'm like, somebody made this movie for me. This is like my exact taste in shit. And somebody took all of the shit that I like and made a movie about it, and it's super, super fun.
Got to give a shout out though to fucking Klaus Kinski and his version of Nosferatu.
I know
his version of Nosferatu was pretty good.
So weird.
Weird.
That was a weird ass movie. We did a review on that one, didn't we?
But that's kind of like how I would imagine a vampire from the original story, though.
Yeah.
He was sick.
Yeah.
And ugly.
Yeah.
And just fucking like this nasty fucker. Wherever he went, diseases and fucking pestilence went.
Well, yeah, he was almost kind of like a humanization of a plague, is what he was. So he kind of looked rat-like.
And his voice and everything, what he would say, it was just like a creepy fucker. wasn't sexy at all. It was just like, dude. No.
You're like, ew. Yeah. Well, yeah, because he just climbed out of a grave. Yeah. He probably smelled really bad.
Yeah, well,
vampires don't wear deodorant.
The Upir or the Wampire or whatever you want to call it from back in the damn honky motherland was something that just came out of the damn grave, had blood on its mouth and fucking,
he was all gross nasty. And it's like more zombie-like than a vampire-like. Because I feel like I'm not averse to like sexy vampires, but I do kind of feel like the original vampire lore, where they were they were like ghouls essentially. So they were like walking around dead bodies.
And that other vampire from that new one, what was it called, Blood Vessel? Mm-hmm. That was a cool vampire too. His wife.
I liked those.
Yeah, and his wife.
Yeah.
Big old rat people, kind of like rat bats.
Yeah, maybe, I mean, along with that and like 30 Days of Night and stuff, maybe we're seeing kind of, more a slow return to vampires actually being monsters.
And they're talking and I'm going like, man, I understood what he said, but what the fuck language was that? You know what I mean? It was Romanian, which is, of course, it's just like Portuguese pretty much. It's the same grammar. You can understand it. But I didn't know what language it was.
Yeah.
But Romanian and Portuguese are real close.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, well,
I mean, it's not that weird.
Romania was the land of the Romans. Yeah. So it's a Romance language, and it's similar to Portuguese.
Yeah. But yeah, you should probably see Shadow of the Vampire. You'd probably dig it. I think that might be on Tubi as well. Because I just recently, like maybe 2 months ago, I just rewatched it.
Yeah.
And I think I watched it on Tubi. I can't remember. It's on one of the services that we have. Number 9, 28 Days Later, 2002. Danny Boyle zombie movie. I guess it's sort of a zombie movie. I know there was a big argument that came out. They're not zombies. They have the rage virus, and it's because they're not dead people that are walking around. They're people that have an illness that makes them.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, honestly, that shot where he wakes up in the hospital all by himself and then goes out in the middle of London is just like empty.
Yeah.
That for 2002, like a movie this low budget, that shot still like fucking blows me away. Yeah. How they fucking did that. It's like, how'd you get everybody to leave? It's crazy. It's just like a crazy looking fucking shot.
As soon as you said that, made me think of, man, we got to remake fucking Omega Man.
I just wish somebody would do a good adaptation or a faithful adaptation of I Am Legend.
Yeah.
Why is that so hard?
I Am Legend is cool, but for some reason I want to remake Omega Man.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is a remake of, or kind of like a spin-off or remake of it. There's something about the shit that happened in Omega Man, the people with the cloaks and the Neville and all that, that could be redone.
Yeah.
And it'd be really cool.
Well, it's probably about time.
Time,
how long has it been since the Will Smith I Am Legend came out?
That was terrible.
I did not like that at all. Well, and like I said, they just really... It wasn't too bad until it started getting to the end, and they just, like, negated the whole fucking point of the story, which really, like, irritated.
The big mistake is that it wasn't a worldwide pandemic. It was just in one little area.
Oh, that's right. They did do that, too. Yeah.
So where's the sense of the loss of hope?
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of the story was that he was like the last
man on
person.
Earth. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, honestly, the Vincent Price one is the closest to the book.
Yeah.
Really. And even that, like, takes some liberties, but that's the closest one.
Yeah. The whole idea is that you're the last man and there's all these damn vampiric mutants.
And they see you as a monster because you're going around killing them in their sleep.
A relic of the past.
Yeah.
That you're a relic of the past.
That's exactly what the fucking...
evil. Right.
Point of it is. It's like, because from their point of view, you're a monster.
Run around killing them while they're asleep and shit with guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I just feel like, I mean, the Vincent Price one was pretty close, but it kind of got that vibe. But I don't know, they haven't really done it justice, I don't think. Number 8, Session 9 from 2001. We did a review on this not too long ago. This is another thing where you just get a bunch of really good actors, a fucking kick-ass location, that abandoned mental hospital. You can shoot the whole fucking thing in there for practically nothing or relatively nothing. And it's a great fucking movie. It's super creepy. It's just like, it's great. And like so much of it is just like implication. I love the fucking, that voice, that Gordon. I love that fucking shit. It's like so creepy. But it's like a great fucking movie. All right, number 7, The Descent from 2005. I probably made the mistake of watching this for the first time on an airplane. And I hate flying, if you don't know. It like stresses me the fuck out. I was flying either to or from the UK, I can't remember. So I was like flying over the Atlantic Ocean. There was really bad turbulence. I was losing my shit. And I was just kind of like, man, I need to like watch a movie and take my mind off this fucking plane is maybe going to crash or whatever. So the movie that I chose to watch, because I'm like, oh, horror movie. So I chose to watch The Descent, and that was a mistake because that movie fucking stressed me the fuck out.
I like the movie. I bought the movie on Blu-ray and it won't play on my Xbox.
Yeah, for some reason.
It'll play on Blu-ray players.
Yeah.
Not on Xbox.
Yeah, the Blu-ray player in the living room will play it, but the Xbox
Pissed
in the bedroom.
Off. Must be some kind of code.
It's so good.
It's the only Blu-ray I have that won't play on the damn.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what else won't play?
What?
My that Clint Eastwood Firefox movie from the 80s will not play on my Xbox, but it'll play out there.
I wonder if it's like just some. I don't know. It's probably just some little glitch or something because we don't usually have like any trouble. Foxfire. I remember seeing that on fucking cable back then. Firefox, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Xbox doesn't play Blu-ray, PS4 and 5 do. Our Xbox does play. It'll play Blu-rays.
Yeah, there's only one that it won't play, and that's Descent.
Yeah. Sandra says, was that the film with the cave? Yeah, that was the one with all the women that were going caving, and they very unwisely decided, hey, here's this Uncharted. Well, one of them decided and didn't tell the other women. By the way, we're in a completely uncharted, cave system. How's that grab you? And they're just like, yeah, thanks, bitch. And then monsters. But yeah, just this is like really like creepy, claustrophobic. Honestly, I think it would have been a good movie if you didn't even have the scary monsters in there. But because of the claustrophobia and like fucking them getting stuck and all that kind of shit. But the addition of the monsters was just like so good. And the monsters look really cool because they look like people that would have lived in a cave for like thousands and thousands of years, like all white, and they're all like fucking blind and shit like that.
They didn't have eyes, I don't think.
They I don't know if they didn't have eyes, but they were blind though.
Okay.
As you would be.
Right.
Like if you had lived in a cave forever, because what the fuck you need eyes for? They could smell stuff and hear stuff. That's like pretty much. Okay. Where was I? Okay. Number 6, Lake Mungo from 2008. We did a review of this one as well. This was a mockumentary. And it's kind of about a family. It's Australian. And it's about a family whose daughter dies, like in a drowning accident. And then she seems to be haunting their house.
Yeah, I remember this.
But then halfway through, you find... we probably spoiled it on the fucking other thing. But it's like, but then halfway through, you find out that that's not exactly what's going on, but that maybe...
I think I remember this.
Yeah, it's like, I really, really like it because it's just like this really, really creepy, like slow burn type of... And the way that they did the mockumentary, the people that they have on there are... So if you didn't know that this was like a horror movie and it's not real, you would totally buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, just the actors that they got are amazing. They're exactly like real people. It's exactly like a real documentary. And it's just really, really well done. And I feel like a lot of people... I don't even think you can buy this shit on Blu-ray, man. I don't think. I watched it on maybe Tubi or Hulu. I can't remember. But it's somewhere. You know what I mean? It's on one of the free services, I think. Number 5. Good old Bubba Hotep.
All right, man, go. I'll get back with you. He's telling me about that Blu-ray.
Okay, yeah. Oh, all right.
Okay, he may have a way to work it out.
Oh, okay. Could be the region code. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that.
It's funny. It'll play on the DVD, on the Blu-ray player, but won't play on an Xbox.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
And it's brand new. Never been played. But just had it for a couple years.
Yeah. Yeah. Strange. What'd I say? Oh, number 5, Bubba Hotep. Bubba Hotep.
Yeah, Bubba Hotep is a masterpiece.
Don Coscarelli. More a comedy, but it has some horror in it too.
Yeah.
Based on the wonderful short story by Joe R. Lansdale, and honestly, the movie is almost from what I remember because I've read the story. I think the movie is almost exactly like the story. Like,
it's a masterpiece. I love that movie.
It's just so good. I mean, Bruce fucking Campbell is so good in it.
The tone is the same as something out of Evil Dead, basically. But it does kind of have about a bunch of geriatrics in a fucking...
In an old folks
home. One of them is Elvis. The other one is JFK. After the CIA filled his head up with sand after the shooting, and put him back together and turned him black.
Yeah.
That's it.
They dyed me this color.
And then the other one is he believes it. So
it's just
it may be true.
So good.
Within the theme of the movie, it could be true. Okay, because crazier shit than that happens in the movie.
Sure.
And then they got what is it? Hot Blonde Cassidy. Who was that? Billy the Kid? No, it was Hopalong Cassidy.
I think it was, yeah. That other guy.
It was a cowboy actor. He's in it.
Yeah.
They're in the convalescent home. And Elvis is in there. He's assumed the identity of an Elvis impersonator.
Yeah.
And let the impersonator
Sebastian
take
Haff.
over his life as Elvis, and then he died.
Yeah.
The impersonator is the one that they found up in Vegas.
Yeah.
Not the real Elvis. This is evidently the real Elvis. And they're in there, and they come across a mummy that sucks people, an Egyptian mummy.
Yeah.
In the middle of Alabama. No, was it Alabama? Or was it Mississippi?
Texas.
It was Texas. Okay.
Texas.
An Egyptian mummy in Texas that's going into the damned convalescent home and sucking people's souls out.
Through their buttholes.
Through their ass. And they're going to try to stop this shit to save their friends in the convalescent home.
I mean, can I just say... Yeah, it's like, I love Joe R. Lansdale, and I love that he came up with that fucking story. Yeah. I just love that.
You got Black JFK in his fucking wheelchair. You got fucking Elvis in his fucking, with his walker. And then you got fucking Hopalong Cassidy running around dressed up in his cowboy outfit with a bunch of cap guns.
The awesome thing about it, so Bruce Campbell's amazing. Ossie Davis is in this, and he just lends the role like such a gravitas. It's so great. Yeah. And it's weird because it's like, it's funny and it's got horror elements, but it's also like really sweet, which it's a very strange thing to say, but it's actually like really, really heartfelt.
Yeah, it's about,
and that's kind of hard to pull off, you know?
It's an end of life story, really. It's about
like your last hurrah.
You're getting so old, you're gonna die, but you're not gonna die alone. You're gonna be with your friends, and they're all great celebrities.
Yeah,
that's. And it all makes sense.
Elvis also has a growth on his dick.
He also has growth on his dick.
I think we forgot to mention that plays into the plot.
Nurse comes in, fucking massages some oil on it.
Putting the ointment.
Yeah.
He's just like fucking gross. And he keeps like looking
at it. He rocked up once and the fucking nurse goes, yeah, it's the best shit.
She was fucking great too. Everybody in this movie is so great.
Yeah. Everybody's great.
I just fucking love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 4, The Others from 2001.
Which one was that?
This is the one with Nicole Kidman and the 2 kids, and they're in the house, and the kids are like have a light allergy, so she has to always keep them in the dark. It's very, very, very loosely based on Turn of the Screw. It's not exactly the same story. There's a different thing going on, but it's kind of like that. And I think it's set during World War I. I want to say World War I, World War II. I can't remember. I think it's World War I, but I can't remember. And this is like this big English manor house, but it's just so. I mean, I love old school ghost stories like this, and this was just like what.
Pat's corrected me. It wasn't Hopalong Cassidy. It was the Lone Ranger.
That's right. Yeah,
it was the Lone Ranger.
I knew it was like one of those.
It was that's a fictional character, and I think Hopalong Cassidy is a fictional character too. I think, isn't he?
Or is that as far as I remember.
Yeah. Lone Ranger.
Yeah, that poor guy. He's like one of those like boxer shorts with the mask and the cowboy hat.
Gotta watch that again.
Yeah, we have that too.
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie. I've seen it so many times. It's just and it makes me laugh like every single fucking time. Especially like Ossie Davis going, "They dyed me this color." I fucking love that. But yeah, so if you haven't seen The Others, it's really good. Especially like I said, if you like old school ghost stories, if you liked The Innocents, if you liked that type of thing, it's just really, really good. It's really, really creepy. Got a big twist in there, which I'm sure most people know what the twist is. Yeah. But I don't want to be responsible for spoiling it. It's kind of like talking about The Sixth Sense. They're like, Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. And they're like, God damn it. But I feel like everyone's seen it, so, Number 3, Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah,
2004.
Great movie.
One of the funniest, it's just fucking great. It's like every single scene in it, the whole thing is like you've got red on you, the whole thing where they're throwing the records at the zombie woman, and they won't do Blue Monday because it's like a collector's item or whatever. And it's just like I love this sequence where Shaun is going to work in the morning or whatever, and there's just like zombies and destruction like all over the place, and he's just so out of it he doesn't notice. It's like, you know what I mean? He goes in to get fucking something out of the convenience store fridge, and there's like bloody handprints all over it, and he's just like, like he doesn't even notice. It's like really fucking
Imagine
hilarious.
If Walking Dead was British and it was a comedy.
And funny.
And fucking funny. That's what it is. Yeah, it's good. It's classic.
I mean, those two guys, they, what's his name? Edgar Wright, and then they have made... I mean, Hot Fuzz is great too. That's kind of like a parody of like buddy cop movies.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I saw it in the theater, but I remember it being fucking hilarious. I don't think it's quite as funny as Shaun of the Dead, but I don't know. Like, other people's opinions may differ. I guess I like Shaun of the Dead better because it's more a horror movie, and I'm more into horror movies than I'm like cop action movies. So Shaun of the Dead was funnier to me, but they're both really funny. All right, number 2, The Ring from 2002. Now, this is the one exception, you know, to where I'm saying it's like, oh, the American remakes of the Japanese movies are never as good. I am going to argue that Gore Verbinski's American remake of Ringu is better than the Japanese one. Fight me. You know what? I saw The Ring first. I saw it in the theater. It scared the fucking crap out of me. Holy crap. And it's like, I was just like, it was almost like Hereditary level. Like, it really, really bothered me. Like, for days and days afterward, I was like, yeah, like I was like all creeped out. And so later I was like, oh, I should probably see the Japanese original. And I saw it. It just didn't, I don't know, the Japanese, it's good, but it just didn't really do anything for me. I don't know what it was. But The Ring with Naomi Watts was just great. And my favorite thing, I mean, there's so much great fucking imagery in it. Like the horse jumping off the ship and like going in the fucking propeller. And it's just that one scene where they're talking about the niece, and then they like smash cut to her, and she's like in the closet, and her fucking face is all fucked up, and you're like not expecting. It's fucking great. So it's just you know, it can be done. Like, they can do a good American remake if you get somebody that knows what the fuck they're doing. Because I will argue, and this is probably the only time I'll argue this, is like, I think that the American version of The Ring is better than the original Japanese one. I can't think of any other ones where that is the case.
And number 1 on this list in the 2000s. Number 1 is...
Bet Zach can guess. Mulholland Drive.
Mulholland Drive.
Don't you fucking tell me this is not a horror movie, because it totally is. Wikipedia says it's a horror movie too, so again, fight me. Because now all of David Lynch's movies weren't in the Wikipedia, like, you know, because they have this whole list of horror movies from every year, you know what I mean? I did see Mulholland Drive is on there, Eraserhead is on there. I don't think any of his other movies are on there, although I would argue that Inland Empire might also be a horror movie. The thing about David Lynch is that his shit is so fucking weird that you can't really classify it. You know what I mean? You can't classify. If you ask me like what genre is Mulholland Drive, it's all the genres. I don't know. It's a horror movie. It's a mystery. It's a thriller. It's a drama. It's just a weird fucking movie. And it's honestly, Mulholland Drive is probably my favorite movie of all time. Probably.
Okay.
I have seen it zillions of times. I have read whole like fucking huge books and essays about shit, about like the symbolism and what it all means and everything. It's just so layered and amazing. And I think I did a review of it a while back, I think when you were in Mississippi, so I did it by myself, and I didn't even cover like all the shit I want to talk about on it. I think it was like almost an hour long, but there's just so much fucking attention to detail, and it's just like a great fucking just the whole like aesthetic of it, the whole mood of it. I just fucking love it.
There's a whole industry of YouTubers that analyze all that shit too.
Yeah, I mean, so
this
it's
scene
so
means that she's in the box and that she knows that she's in the movie. She doesn't know that she's in the movie. The directors agree, that kind of shit.
Yeah,
kind of like what they would do to The Shining. They'll pick The Shining apart, over analyzing The Shining. But I think in the case,
there is a lot of that shit in there.
Yeah, and stuff like Mulholland Drive, though. I mean, that's a bunch of symbolic stuff.
Oh, big time.
Him playing with you and stuff.
It's all symbolic. And what amazes me the most about Mulholland Drive is that it was actually supposed to be a series. Because after they had done Twin Peaks, and that was kind of like a big thing, they were going to have him do another series. So he kind of had this idea, and he had sort of started writing it up as a series. And then after a while, they were like, nah, never mind. We don't want to do a series. So he's like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to turn it into a movie. And the fact that it still came out as like one of the best movies ever and like so fucking brilliant. And it's almost kind of like David Lynch kind of pisses me off in a way, because it's just like, yeah, you know, I was going to do this a TV series and then I just made it into a movie, and There you go. It was so easy. Like, he made the most brilliant fucking movie ever. Just like he does it without even thinking about it, and that makes me really angry.
Well, the guy is a genius. He's a film genius.
Yeah.
But I must say that he's also an acquired taste. I mean,
well, I'm sure, not everybody's gonna dig it.
I'm going like, what? You know what I mean? Huh? You know what I mean? It takes me a while to kind of understand what's going on, and then I'm like, wait a minute. It's kind of like the same quality that Kubrick has, except he's got that shit dialed up to 11.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he's super into surrealism, and he's super
surreal.
Into.
Symbolism,
well, I mean, he's
surrealism.
super into like cinema and into filmmaking, as Kubrick was. So a lot of the stuff that he puts in the movies, particularly in Mulholland Drive, because it's almost kind of like.
I'd have to see that shit again.
Because it's almost kind of like. A Hollywood mythology. So there's so much stuff in there that references other movies.
I kind of get Mulholland Drive and Lost Highway mixed
They're
up.
They're kind of similar. I like Lost Highway too, but Mulholland Drive is a way better movie.
You have all that shit. We're going to have to watch that again.
I don't have Lost Highway, but I do have Mulholland Drive. I have Eraserhead. I have... What the other one? I have like a couple of other ones. I don't have Inland Empire yet, though. I still need to sit through that for a sec. I've seen it 2 or 3 times. But that movie, I mean, I figured out Mulholland Drive the second or third time I watched it. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? But it took me a couple times. Inland Empire, I've seen, I think 3 times, and I still haven't completely figured it out. That is the most David Lynchian movie of all of his movies.
Lost Highway?
No.
Which one?
Inland Empire. That was the last one that he made before he just... fucked off and like stopped making shit. Although he made that one with the monkey. That was a short
Surfer
film.
showed up.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
What was the Lynch movie with Robert Blake? Yeah, that was Lost Highway.
Lost Highway. I gotta see those again, man.
I've been wanting to watch Lost Highway. Actually,
I was real young when I saw those. I considered myself young at that age. I was probably about 25, 26 around that time, and I didn't quite get what he was doing.
Yeah.
They were kind of enjoyable and they were eerie. Like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
Yeah, his shit's like super creepy.
But then I wasn't real curious at that time, though.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, fuck that. And after the movie was over, pretty much
fuck that arty farty bullshit.
Fuck that arty farty bullshit. I was like, yeah, and then I would immediately forget that. But I do remember that one scene. I guess it was in Lost Highway where they had. What's his name? And the damn white makeup.
Yeah, that's what Pat was just saying.
And he would call himself on the phone, and you're like,
I'm at your house right now.
I'm at your house right now. I'm on the phone.
See, that kind of shit freaks me out. And David Lynch does that a lot.
In Eastern countries, a bullet in the back of the head, and I'm like, what the fuck's he talking about?
Shit like that freaks me out. So, like, anytime, like, David Lynch puts some shit, like, if you guys have seen, I don't know, like, I know a lot of people maybe didn't see Inland Empire, but there is a fucking scene in it and Grace Zabriskie is in there and fucking shit, man, what's her fucking name?
I don't know.
Laura Dern. Okay. And they're sitting in the room, and Grace Zabriskie is so fucking creepy. She didn't have to do anything like to be creepy, and she just says something to the other one. It's like, if it was tomorrow, you would be sitting right over there. Yeah. And then, like, they kind of smash cut to the next day that she's in. That, for some reason, that just makes, like, goosebumps stand up. I don't know why that kind of shit weirds me out. And I will say that Mulholland Drive has easily one of the best, I guess you call it a jump scare in cinema history. That whole, you know what I'm talking about? Winky's Diner. Yeah. That is a fucking masterful scene. So creepy.
Yeah, Pat, that was Robert Blake.
Yeah.
Robert Blake, and who's in the white makeup.
Yeah.
Who ended up being, they suspected him of shooting his wife.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did. But
I don't know. I was writing about it.
The gun was inside, but it's hard to say.
It wasn't the same gun as his.
Yeah, it wasn't the same gun. Was it a setup? Did he have a friend do it? There's no telling. They couldn't prove anything. They were fighting, but a lot of couples fight. I don't think he did it. I don't think he had anything to do with it.
Yeah, I'm not real sure, but I kind of lean toward maybe not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't enough to convict him on.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the 2000s. And now we're to the last list, which I did 2010 to 2021 because, come on, we're only like 1 year into the shit.
Yeah.
So it doesn't it doesn't need its own. 2020 and 2021 didn't need their own shit. Didn't Blake go to prison for that?
No, he was acquitted.
No, I thought he was acquitted.
He was acquitted.
Yeah. Serpent Surfer says the last half of Inland Empire is just a crazy fucking ride. She was so fucking good in that. She totally should have got the Oscar. And David Lynch thought so too. He kept like taking out like full page ads like, hey, give Laura Dern the Oscar. She's amazing. And they didn't, unfortunately. But they totally should have. And honestly, that scene at the end of Inland Empire where they're going down the hall like in that hotel or whatever and their faces are all distorted. Oh, that freaks me out really bad too. Like, the second time I watched it, I was just like, nah, I'm just going to cover my eyes at this point. And I never fucking do that. It's just so unsettling. I don't know why. All right. So this is our top 20, or my top 20 from 2010 to 2021. Let's see. Seth says, did House of a Thousand Corpses make the list? It did not. It was on there initially, but I had to take it off because, like I said, I was trying to winnow shit down to like 20, you know. Okay, so number 20, The Lighthouse from 2019. I loved this fucking movie.
Was that horror?
Sort of.
It was just a weird-ass fucking movie. I liked the movie. Strange. But see,
I love that. Just make more weird shit.
They're drinking the fucking lighthouse oil. Weird fucking drunker and drunker on that damn
fucking mermaids.
The mermaids coming. Was it real? You don't
farting.
know. And then the way it ends, they go up in the lighthouse and look into the damn beam, and that's the end of the fucking movie. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And it was just like...
Well, it's based on like Greek mythology, right?
Yeah.
Like it's based on a mythological...
I didn't fucking... get any of that, you know what I mean? To me, it was just kind of like a David Lynch movie. But these dudes just driving each other fucking crazy. The audience liked it.
Yeah.
And when it ended,
it's an insane movie.
When it ended with him looking into the beam and he's going ah,
it's crazy.
And then it fucking ended, and I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here, really? Oh man, it was a weird movie though. I liked it.
I did too. Like I said, people I like. And this is Robert Eggers, the same guy that made The Witch, which may or may not turn up on the list at some point later. But, I love people that make weird shit.
One
like
dude
I said,
trying to catch the other dude jerking off, telling him not to jerk off.
Yeah. Willem Dafoe, like, farting in Robert Pattinson's face. It's fucking great.
Crazy shit.
It's great. That's exactly what two dudes back then, living in a lighthouse, that's what would have happened. They're just kind of going nuts out there.
Going nuts. Like a dude's writing it down, you're jerking off again. Shit like that. Don't do it.
It was so fucking funny.
Fucking hilarious. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And
all
they
right.
were getting crazier and crazier. And they ran out of whiskey, so they started drinking the damn lighthouse fuel.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like you do. Number 19. This might surprise some people. The Suspiria remake from 2018. I totally went into this movie expecting that I was going to hate it because if you remember our 70s list, Suspiria is my favorite horror movie from the 1970s. And I always said to myself, because I had heard about a remake being done many, many years before it actually came out. And I'm sitting there going, I don't really see the point of it because if it doesn't look like the Dario Argento one, then it's not really Suspiria because the visual is such an iconic part of that movie. You know what I mean? It's like the story is kind of even incidental. It's just like this creepy like visual feast and it's like a fairy tale. So I felt like, well, if you can't recapture the look because only Dario can do that because that's his thing. But then if you can't recapture the look, then why fucking bother remaking it? Because that's kind of like the best thing about the movie. But I like that they changed it. He went in the total opposite direction and made just everything just gray and like fucking, it was East Germany and it was just kind of all, and I really, really like that they did that. I also really like that they incorporated the dance at the ballet school into the witchcraft, which the original movie did not do. It was a ballet school in the original movie, but I like that the dancing in this version was actually part of the ritual of them doing witchcraft on people. I thought that was a really brilliant addition.
The original one, I think, was visually really cool for the time with all the colors. I mean, everybody's going to say that.
Yeah.
I like the story. I don't remember from the original. I don't remember the story having much substance. I mean, I had a hard time following it.
Well, she goes to the ballet school, and it's basically a front for a coven of witches.
Yeah, well, you know that's going on, but then there's like a bunch of other stuff that's just kind of hard to follow. The second one was kind of the same. It was a bunch of subtle stuff. It had dancing. It had some good-looking girls in it. They're witches. They can do certain shit. Nothing was really memorable except the very end when damn Demon came out and fucking chopped all their fucking heads off. demon witch, and it looked fucking fantastic. It was like,
the end,
God damn!
The end was different than the original.
Damn, look at that damn thing. And then I didn't know what had happened or why. Yeah. Because it was so subtle that it didn't really, I'm kind of a dummy. You have to underline exactly what the fuck's happening. I didn't realize that those witches didn't pass the test.
Yeah.
Then it would come out and fucking chop all their heads off. Pop their heads off. And then it went away. It was just this it looked like a damn rotten, wet corpse thing in a dress that fucking stood up. And its head was just undescribable. It was weird looking. And then it went back to hell where it came from, I guess.
Well, yeah, like I said, that was the whole point of and this wasn't really going on in the original that much, but there was like two contingents of witches
fighting each other
that were like fighting each other.
It was over some different interpretation of the fucking magic that they were doing.
And I said, I don't really want to spoil the end of this one. Like I said, this ending is not the same as the original, because in the original movie, which is from 1977, so I can spoil away, Jessica Harper's character kills the witch.
Yeah.
That is not what happens in this one. But like I said, it took some like massive cojones to even want to do a new version of Suspiria. And it really took some balls too to just go, man, I'm going to go like the completely opposite direction with it and change the skeleton of the story is the same, but I'm totally going to change the ending like opposite to what the original was.
It was okay.
Yeah.
For me, not real memorable, other than that final scene. I wish they had that damn witch demon thing in the whole movie.
Well,
if they kept if it appeared and did things, and maybe like something out of Alien or something, then maybe. But the rest of it, I thought it was kind of a sleepy movie. That's how I remember it. It's not real. It wasn't. Well,
it's real long. It's very arty. And you really, really have to pay attention to all the conversations and all because it's complex, like the shit that's going on.
I was kind of nodding out over what they were talking about. Like, what? Okay, but because you have to keep track of too much shit.
It's like it's too much.
It's too much work, man.
It's too much.
Too much work.
My brain hurts.
Yeah.
Number 18, Color Out of Space, 2019.
I liked it. It got panned, but I liked it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I liked it too. I mean, visually gorgeous. The tone of it is kind of weird, but because you had like, it was kind of like serious, but then you had Nicolas Cage being like, hey, I'm starting an alpaca farm and like all this kind of like crazy kind of shit like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. It worked for me for some reason.
Some people say that the movie didn't work, that Mandy worked. Mandy was a better movie. I liked Mandy better. But no, they were both good movies. I liked Mandy better though. I think it was mostly just the style and the subject matter.
Yeah.
And it was the type of story it was. But Color Out of Space was good too. It was just kind of a weird sci-fi horror movie.
Yeah, it was super
Something
cool.
landed in a damn backyard and it was fucking doing weird shit. You don't know what the hell's going on and it's changing shit. And fucking Cage is caging the fuck out. He doesn't know what to do about it. I gotta see it again. I want to see it again.
Did we buy it?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I thought we had.
Yeah,
because we've seen it.
Got it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, that's right. Because we just watched it.
I think I got a deluxe Blu-ray version with the fucking special sleeve and everything, huh?
Yeah, that's right. You do.
Yeah. I pre-ordered it, didn't I?
Yes.
I pre-ordered it. We got it we got it before they fucking even were streaming it.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, because like we bought it like we had the early release thing, and then I think Shudder added it like a few weeks later, and I was like, well, shit.
Didn't matter though.
Yeah, which you know.
Yeah.
Number 17, The Autopsy of Jane Doe from 2016. Here's another example of you don't need a lot of complicated shit to make an awesome movie. This movie is set, if I remember correctly, entirely in a room in a morgue. And it's like an unfolding supernatural mystery about this mysterious body of this young girl that they find. And as they're doing the autopsy, shit gets weirder and weirder and weirder. And like this mystery starts to like unravel. I think it's on Netflix, or at least it was, because I'm pretty sure that's where I watched it. But if you haven't seen Autopsy of Jane Doe, it's just like a really, really good, creepy, essentially one location, what they would call a bottle movie. Mm. And it's just really, really well done. It's just so creepy. And just like the whole time you're just sitting there going, man, what the fuck is going on with this girl's body? It's like fucking crazy. But yeah, really, really good. Number 16, The Babadook, 2014. I really, really, I know like a lot of people said, oh, the kid in it is annoying, which he was, but he was supposed to be annoying. I just really liked the aesthetic of the book. I really liked the aesthetic of the monster. I didn't have a problem because I know some people were like, oh, this is a new thing with, all the A24 type horror and everything where, oh, the monster's never real. It's always like a representation of grief or whatever. But the thing is, it's like, yeah, but you can still watch it as like a creepy monster movie too. You don't have to take away the subtext if you don't want to. I mean, obviously that's what the subtext is. Yeah. But
I saw it. I don't remember much about it.
You can just watch it as like a creepy horror because it's super creepy. Like the Babadook is creepy.
I'd have to see it again.
He's with the little monster and he has like the fucking hat and like the little fingers and he looks kind of like a shadow sort of. It's like, I mean, I love the whole aesthetic of it. It was like super, super cool. Number 15, gonna go with The Invisible Man.
It's pretty good.
From 2020 with Elizabeth Moss.
Yeah, it was okay.
I mean, I like... Also great because this is what you want to do if because I know they wanted to do the Dark Universe and then they made The Mummy with Tom Cruise and it was just like a stupid action movie instead of being like a creepy horror movie.
I'm gonna have to see it.
Which is what I mean. It looked even from the trailer. I was like, man, that looks dumb as hell.
But you could
why did they do that?
You could probably get it cheap now though.
You probably can because that came out a while back.
You see fucking Tom doing.
But so that's what they were gonna do. But then like after The Mummy kind of didn't do all that well. They were like, okay, well, we still want to do those, but just, take the fucking concept and do something different with it. And honestly, I think this was the best way to go. Like The Invisible Man. It was updated. It was just, the acting in it was amazing. It was like just a really, really great thriller.
I enjoyed it. We saw it in the theater.
We did, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
I think it came out last January, something like that. Yeah, we saw it back then.
It was like one of the newer movies that wasn't totally forgettable. A lot of that shit was just totally forgettable. But that one,
that one really stood out.
It stood out.
Yeah, it definitely did. Serpent Surfer says, I watched The Mummy while I was in the hospital after surgery, and it was worse than the physical pain I was in. I could tell from the trailer. I was like, that looks so bad. It looked like the Mummy movies from. The 90s, like with Brendan Fraser.
That's why I want to see it. I remember it looking retro. And I would like to see a fucking big old retro fucking dumbass fucking action movie with Tom Cruise in it, jumping out of fucking planes and fighting mummies and shit. Fighting down
punching mummies.
The plagues of Egypt coming after him and shit. It's probably hilarious.
I mean, I love like the old Universal Mummy, like with Boris Karloff and stuff, which honestly was kind of more of a drama. But I just love the whole aesthetic of the makeup in that was so fucking good. Like Boris Karloff looked so fucking cool in that. And I just feel like if you're going to do a remake of The Mummy, do something more like that. Like do something set, like he's an archaeologist and he's like set all this kind of shit with like, ooh, it's a big fucking, there's all this CGI shit flying everywhere. It's like, just stop it. Stop it.
I really like Tom in Mission Impossible, just got to say. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. I
don't mind the Mission Impossible movies, but
they were all movies of their time.
Yeah,
but the last ones were real good, man. I liked it was a Fallout, Rogue Nation or some shit.
Yeah,
we saw them in the theater. I fucking enjoyed it.
I liked Fallout a lot.
It was good.
I mean, I'm not totally averse. I'm just saying I don't like. I never liked that thing where there's like, well, let's make a horror movie. But they make it like this big CGI wank fest. That's why I could never get into like the Underworld movies and all that kind of stuff. It's like you're making it into an action movie.
Yeah.
I want to see like a creepy horror movie. If I wanted to watch an action movie, I'd watch a fucking action movie. You know what I'm saying?
Although you got to say that Dracula Untold was the same way, and
I did like that one. I did like that one. I will say. So but that one was that was like that was like a period piece, and it's like that just had some cool shit in it. I don't know.
Well, what he could do.
Yeah,
see that?
That was cool.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna say that with The Invisible Man, I think they absolutely went in the right direction with that, where they made it like a thriller, but it was kind of like using that concept. Number 14, Midsommar.
Yeah, liked it
from 2019.
Yeah,
it was totally different than this is Ari Aster, obviously, totally different than Hereditary, which will it'll definitely be on
fell asleep during that movie.
Well, we'll get into that. But like Midsommar was cool because man, I really have to see that one again because there was a lot. Well, Ari Aster really likes to like do all kind of like weird hidden shit in his movies.
I liked it.
And you have to like Midsommar, it basically tells you everything that's going to happen in the movie like in the credits. Like cuz it's scrolling across that fucking drawing or whatever, like that mural. and it shows every single thing that's going to happen in the movie. Like in that mural, it's amazing.
If you liked Wicker Man, you'd like this. It's not the new Wicker Man, the old Wicker Man. It's in that same kind of neo-folk kind of deal. It's all these... Where they were Scandinavians, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, all these Scandinavians living out in some cult deep in the honky motherland, living the way it was before the Empire and all that shit. Back with the Druids and fucking all this weird magic and all the weird shit white folks had to do to get the trees to grow and to get the rain to fall. And they're still doing it. And you're like, you crazy motherfucker, you're going to do that shit? Setting people on fire and doing
sewing
this
them
and
in
that.
Bear suits.
Sewing them in bear suits and setting them on fire just so the harvest is good. You guys are fucking nuts, but they fucking believe the shit. And it's like they're back in the day. And just the way it was is that it was an eerie, creepy movie because you knew bad shit was going to happen. Remember the black dude? He's like, oh no, I'm out of here. Remember that? Oh no, this is just fucking good. They got his ass though. It was a horror movie.
Oh, big time.
You went down there and they fucking did what they wanted to you, you know, in some religious fucking ceremony. It was better than Wicker Man, actually. It was like that.
In a lot of ways, yeah.
It was better than Wicker Man. I liked it, and a lot of people didn't like this movie.
It got mixed reviews. Some people fucking loved it, and some people were like, meh.
It was fucking weird, man.
Yeah, like all the fucking trees were doing this shit like you were on LSD like the whole time. It's like I loved that pretty much the whole thing was set like in bright daylight.
Yeah.
And
that made it weirder.
It made it it's really hard to pull that off.
And they were doing it out in the open in these fields with everybody watching and shit.
Yeah.
Cuz they're fucking crazy. The lesson is that fucking they got some people that believe some fucking crazy shit that's not going to stop them from doing it.
Yeah.
They're going to do it.
And they lived like way out in the middle of nowhere, and it's like there's nobody there to say, hey, don't do that.
You're kind of like limited to what your belief system is.
Yeah.
Your belief system dictates what you do. And that's what they believed in.
Yeah.
That's what it was in the Wicker Man story, too.
Yeah.
You know, same kind of shit. Human sacrifice stories. Fuck.
And they were all like happy and go lucky and everything.
Yeah, you know.
And they kind of do that, and in a way that makes it creepier because they're not sinister at all.
And they live all communally.
Yeah.
You know.
They all seem like super friendly and nice and everything.
Kind of like free sex and free love and shit. And then just got to see it. It's good.
It's crazy. Serpent Surfer says, I'm surprised there aren't more pagan folk horror movies. It's an untapped market. See, I always thought that too because I can't really think of all that many other than Midsummer. And it's like I said, I'm really glad that, you know, people are kind of maybe we'll get a mini boomlet in that.
Put that shit on and you listen to Death in June and current 93 and Nature and Organization.
Yeah, it'll fit right in.
And what's it, Death in Rome and Rome and fucking those bands, those neo folk goth industrial type, and it would fit right into that creepy ass shit.
I mean, even in the 70s, you had Wicker Man, you had Blood on Satan's Claw.
Yeah.
Was there The Devil Rides Out? Was that like folk horror? I don't know. I can think of a couple books. Harvest Home by Tom Tryon, which they actually made into a TV movie, although it wasn't that good. But the book was very folk horror. I feel like there's not enough of it. Like you
Badger
said.
says he'd put Wicker Man above Midsummer, but in terms of a classic, yeah.
I never get sick of Wicker Man.
In terms of a movie, I kind of think Midsummer was better because it didn't beat around the bush. It got right to the point of what the deal was. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't any real build up to it to speak of. You know what I mean? They weren't keeping the secrets of what was going on.
Yeah. And
then finally the cop figures it out. No, right from the very beginning. It's a whole movie of that.
Yeah.
So I kind of liked it better. You weren't waiting for it to happen. It happened through the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
So I liked it.
I was laughing at Fourth Row Down. It's all fun and games until the old guy jumps off a cliff.
Until the old motherfucker jumps off the cliff.
Smack!
Bye.
Oh, that was so gross.
Go refresh the ocean.
Like his fucking face just kind of went.
Yeah.
It was so nasty.
Yeah.
Okay, number 13, little movie called Creep. Now, this is there's been several movies called Creep. The one I'm talking about is the one from 2014 with Mark Duplass. It's found footage, but it's different. So basically the setup is that this dude named Joseph has puts an ad for a videographer, and his story is, my wife is pregnant, but I'm dying of cancer. So I want you, the videographer, to document my life so that, you know, when my kid is born, he'll see, like, what his dad was like. So this guy goes and films the dude, and the dude, Joseph, is not right. But you don't know exactly what's going on or what's the matter with him. It's just really, really unsettling. Like, at first you don't know. It's like, is he a murderer? Or is he just, like, really, really awkward? Or does he just have, like, a really strange sense of humor? And it's just, like, and it just keeps getting, like, weirder and weirder and weirder. And it's just, it's so, so good. And actually, they made a Creep 2. It might be on Netflix still. And they made a Creep 2 as well, which is also very good. I think the first one's a little bit better, but the second one's good, too. And like I said, so if, you know, it's found footage, but don't let that deter you, because it's actually really good. Number 12, Tucker and Dale versus Evil, 2010.
I don't remember that.
This is a horror comedy about two lovable rednecks who have a fishing cabin out in the middle of nowhere, and they're fixing it up. And these snotty, horrible college students are camping out in the woods, and they somehow get the idea that the rednecks are going to kill them because so it's like a parody of, you know, the Hicks in the Woods, like Killer Hicks in the Woods genre, because in this one it's like reversed. The Hicks are like the good guys, and they're like super sweet and awesome, and the college kids are all douchebags, and they all start. And the funny thing, and it just keeps ramping up because the college kids keep essentially killing themselves in really, really stupid ways because they're afraid of these dudes. Like, the one like runs into a wood chipper, and it's like just shit like that, and it's fucking hysterical.
Yeah, in some ways, this movie is kind of like the American version of Shaun of the Dead in a way. It has a Shaun of the Dead type quality where you have local people in a fucking weird situation. But, well, maybe it is not quite the same. The people that you thought were going to be the bad guys were actually the good guys. And the good guys, the people you thought were the good guys were actually the bad guys.
It's a reversal. And it's just really, really funny.
Yeah.
The way, like, shit keeps escalating because the Hicks, you know, Tucker and Dale, are trying to help these kids because they think that the kids are, like, killing themselves, and they're like, oh my god, it must be like a suicide pact. We have to do something to help them. And but them trying to help and the kids being scared of them and thinking they're murderers keeps, like, leading to these increasingly absurd situations where these college kids keep killing themselves in, like, ridiculous ways.
I'm going to go ahead and say that it is our version of Shaun of the Dead, except it's in the form of a slasher. It's a lot like, it's that same tone.
Yeah, it's real
comedic,
funny.
Horror kind
And it's another one, too, where the characters of Tucker and Dale are just so lovable, and their friendship is just so awesome. So it really has, like, this great, like, emotional heart to it, which I think is really cool. You know, if you haven't seen it, it's, like, super, super funny.
I'm getting a little Debbie real quick. I'm starving.
You're getting... Oh, well, now you're starving.
It's that damn medicine.
You and your hormones. His hormones are just, like, all over the fucking place. Yeah, Mango says the wood chipper scene is a work of... I love that fucking scene so much. And I just love that they're just so befuddled. They have no idea what's going on. And it's just like that. You feel so bad for them because they're just like, what the fuck? Like, all these college kids are just running in here and killing themselves in horrible ways, and they can't figure out how to stop it. It's just, like, super, super funny. All right, number 11. I'm gonna go with The Witch from 2015. Again, Robert Eggers, same guy that did The Lighthouse. This movie, like, as you can tell, like, Robert Eggers, he's committed to, like, just making fucking weird ass works of art movies, and he doesn't really give a shit if people, like, I guess, like them or not. So I love that this movie is almost all the dialogue is from shit that happened, like, you know, witchcraft trial shit, like, that happened at the time. So it's all, like, period accurate dialogue. All of the clothing is period accurate. It was all, like, made by hand. So he really, I mean, it's a work of art. It's beautiful to look at. And it's just, like, a real creepy, like, the whole thing with the goat and all that fucking shit is, like, so, so creepy. But yeah, it's, like, really, really good. You know, I can see, like, some people, if you're not into more, like, arty-farty horror, because I know that some people aren't, then probably I don't know, just, like, think it was slow or something like that. But I don't know. I really got into it. I got into the whole like fucking tone of it. I just thought it was like really, really awesome. Number 10, Upgrade from 2018. This was kind of a sci-fi horror with Logan Marshall Green. And he basically... I don't know, it's a horror movie, it's sci-fi. It also kind of has a little bit of dark comedy in it as well. You know, it's almost the same story as RoboCop, I want to say.
Which movie are you talking about?
Upgrade.
Oh, Upgrade was awesome. I like that one.
So good.
Not really a horror movie though.
Well, kind of. It had horror elements to it. It was like horror, action, dark comedy, sci-fi.
I guess so.
You know, I'm gonna call it. Like I said, Wikipedia had it on their horror movie list, so I'm gonna put it on there. Yeah, this was actually one of my favorite movies that came out in 2018 easily.
Yeah, Sophie sent me a copy.
It to us, yeah. And I'm glad she did because I had not seen it.
I never heard of it.
And it's weird because I was just reading earlier today. Somebody wrote like a big long thing about this from a couple years back, and I read it. But yeah, it's just I loved. One of my favorite things is Logan Marshall Green in this, like the physical. Physicality of the role, because you know basically he has like an AI that is like ass kicking, but he doesn't realize, I guess, so it's just kind of like his body is doing shit that he's not like in control of, like as he gets taken over. So it's just like the great looks on his face, like when he just starts like beating the shit out of somebody and he's just like, what the fuck am I doing right now? Like he doesn't have any control over his body. It's like really, really good. Number 9, The Bay from 2012. This is another mockumentary, and it's basically about this parasite. It's a parasite movie, and it's super, super disgusting. And this, again, is one just like I was talking about with Lake Mungo, where you could totally see this being like a real documentary if you didn't know that it was fake. It's basically about this small seaside town. They all start getting this weird, like, parasite. It's like it eats their tongues or, like, replaces their tongue. Basically looks like one of those big, like, roly-poly things, but big. You know what I mean? And it kind of, like, eats people's tongues, and then, like, it takes over this whole town, like, over the 4th of July weekend. It's, like, so it's super skin-crawly, it's super gory, and it's all done like a mockumentary. You know what I mean? So it's really, really good. So if you haven't seen that, then I would recommend it. Number 8... I'm going to go with I'm the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House. This is another one that is real... I guess it's kind of divisive because it's another one of this sort of like slow burn arty-farty ghost story type of things, and it's kind of like ambiguous. Like you're not entirely sure like who's a ghost and who's dead and shit. But there was just something about this one that... This is one of those movies where it had like these really, really creepy shots of like an empty room, and then there would be like a doorway and it was dark, and you were always kind of like expecting shit to like pop out of this, and like sometimes like nothing would happen, but it just had this really like it really gave me like a palpable like feeling of dread like through the whole thing, just from like the camera angles and like the way shit was shot. And so you really didn't have to show much of anything, because I don't think there was any like big, hey, ghost action until maybe the very end, if I'm remembering it correctly. But most of it was just like, it was atmosphere. It was just all the way it was shot, like just, it was just so, so well done. I just really, really liked it. I think Oz Perkins directed that, now that I'm thinking about it. Anthony Perkins is
Serpent's in there laughing at me. Tom's reviews are all, I didn't see it, gotta watch it. This isn't my list, this is Jenny's list.
Yeah.
Jenny's seen a lot more movies than me.
Yeah, a lot more.
Her taste is better than mine, too. She likes that arty-farty shit. She's a writer.
I like arty-farty shit, but I also like gory shit. I like slashers.
Yeah.
I like horror comedies. I like all different kind of horror movies. Well, hi, Pook. Oh, my goodness. Look, the closet door is open. Do you want to go in there? You want to go to Kitty Narnia? I keep telling her Narnia's in there, but she doesn't believe me. All right, so where are we? Number 7. Oh, well, I want to wait till Tom comes back for this one because he's actually seen this movie. So I guess I have to wait till he comes back. Did he eat both of those things? Okay. Well, he poured more lemonade in here and all my ice melted. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no.
Bring some more ice?
No.
Okay.
Wait. Oh, I think my shit crashed. Is it gonna come back or? I don't know. It's like it's still going on yours. I'm looking over at his tablet and I'm still on there talking like normal, but on my shit it's like not. I don't know, man. It's really, really weird.
Is it fucking up again?
Well, it looked like it didn't really drop.
It was just you.
It was just me.
Just your monitor.
But
how's that RAM look? Can you see that?
It's fine actually. 31%. That's good.
And what is the connection speed? Does it say? Any warnings on it?
Let me see. Oh.
Yep, you touched it and it fucking locked
Well, I
up
gotta touch it.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying it has something to do with RAM, I think. Yeah, lost the connection.
Shit. Well. Yep. It's just, it completely froze. Completely froze.
Yeah.
Well.
Okay, no, we're back.
Are we? Yes, no?
It's hard to say you froze again.
This is, see, it's weird because it still says excellent connection, but it could just be that my ship just...
It's weird.
Like, nothing's moving. Nothing's moving.
It's kind of doing its thing. We can text.
Yeah. It's just it just keeps... Okay, it came back. Nope, it didn't. This is so frustrating. This is so frustrating.
Okay, let's start another stream.
Yeah, we're gonna have to start a new one because this isn't cool.
Okay, they want me to give